Its guides will whisper stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to another live stream. We're going to get started very soon here on the Yes No questions. Hey, Sienna, welcome in. Thank you guys for liking. All right, let's see what we've got for you guys. First up, we have Dorella. I have a no. 8 of Cups for Dorella. Gemini, things are going good. Thank you. I have the 2 of Swords, Gemini. That's a maybe for me, but because of the deck I'm using, it looks more like a no. So I'm going to say no, and I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. Amy. I have a no, Amy. The 5 of Pentacles and the Tower. Maya. I have a no, 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups. Margaret. I have a yes, 9 of Cups. Yes, 6 of Pentacles. Pretty girl. Yes, 6 of Cups. You're welcome, Dorella. All right, Fabi. I have a yes, 7 of Pentacles. Sienna. Yes, Ace of Pentacles. Shanine. Guys. So Shanine, that's kind of like 2 questions in one, but I did pull a yes for you. So what I'm going to say is either yes to both or one of those things. Ace of Pentacles. Yes, Ace of Swords for Space Cowboy. Please make sure that if you dropped a yes no question, you are liking the live stream itself. I appreciate all the love in the chat with the hearts and everything, but the stream itself is very important that is liked for the algorithm for YouTube to push me out to new people. I have noticed new people coming in this week, so I really think that all the likes are helping. So I just want to kind of throw that out there. Thank you guys in advance. Hey, boss lady, welcome in. Oh no, that's your household? Yeah, the cat's fighting. All right. Let's see. I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't care if they kind of tumble and do kitten cat stuff, but it's like when they start getting really crazy with it. All right. I'm going to answer these last couple of questions, and then we've got to move on to donations. This is for Sweet Rita. Sweet Rita, not at this time. That could change. 10 of Wands. No for now. Boss Lady. In general, yes, Ace of Cups, Boss Lady, but the Seven of Wands did come out. So I think that there are times where he may not be thinking about you, but you are, I feel like, in the back of his mind. So sometimes it's more like conscious thinking, and then other times it's just background. Luna, yes, 6 of Wands. All right, guys, free list is closed, friends. I'm working on the last question of the night. I wouldn't say upset, sweeter. It's the 7 of Cups. I would say it's making him try to figure out what his next move will be. I have the 7 of Cups. That's more like strategy, thinking, over analyzing, but it's not necessarily a feeling of anger. I think he's just not sure maybe what to say or how to feel right now. All right, guys, we've got to move on to donations. The free list is closed. It closed a couple minutes ago. Y'all know the drill. If you want to donate, you can. So we have Amy on the list for donations right now. Shanine, that's so nice of you to say. I really appreciate that, especially after the week I've had. Thank you so much. Sweeter, you think he's happy? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get an emotion with that card. I got more like strategy, like thinking things over. Trying to figure out maybe what option is best. All right, so Amy, you want me to still ask the same question, right? The one we talked about? Okay, so let me shuffle. I'm like eating watermelon right now at the same time. Okay. The dishes in the dishwasher are clean too, babe, if you need them. You're welcome, sweeter. All right, so first thing I asked was, will you be able to find the sketchbook? And I got a yes, 6 of wands. So that's first. So at least I know it wasn't like thrown away or anything. You've watched lots of major arcana cards here. Death, the Tower, the Lovers, Knight of Swords, and Heartbreak. Did you ever bring it to Eli's house? Oh, only to his car. Okay. That was my first thought, but just because the very first card was death, and then the last card was severe heartbreak and grief. So I was like, maybe that. And then we also have the Lovers, a transformation, a transformative romantic connection. And then I also have the motorcycle, Knight of Swords. So I feel like Spirit wants me to tell you to kind of trace back to when you were dating him. But now I'm wondering, did you lose it around that time, or has it been more recent than that? Why am I getting a lot of like Elijah's like related content? More recent. Do you go fishing? I know that's a really random, weird question. I feel like I'm almost being told to like jog your memory. So I'm just telling you everything I'm seeing right now, just in case it would apply. 2 weeks ago. And again, it's tarot, so it's like I can only get impressions. I'm not necessarily going to be able to tell you exactly where this thing is. I wish tarot worked that way. I wish I could shuffle the cards and they just like gave it to me like flat out. You said you do go fishing, but not recently. There is one more person you can ask. Did that like ring a bell for you? Oh, her name is Rose. Okay. Would that have been right around the time, like 2 weeks ago? I'm almost feeling like it's outside or like you were spending time outdoors. I'm getting a lot of imagery of being outside. There's not a single card here that looks like you're inside someone's house. But like I said, it could be if it is Rose, you could ask her. It could technically be at her place since you stayed over. There's just a lot of imagery talking about like outdoors. The only time you guys spent the night together, he picked you up from her house. That kind of makes sense because the Knight of Swords is here and that speaks to like impulse. It feels like it's related to like a romantic connection. So, I mean, we could be talking about Elias technically. All three of your family's car. Well, check with Rose. I feel like it's going to turn up. I at least got to guess that it's something you can find still. So it's not like it's been discarded. I think you might be onto something. I think you might be onto like where this is going. Because like at first I thought it was Elijah. Just because death, motorcycle, lovers, the heartbreak. But maybe it's Elias. There is something, because you have a different religion, but there is something in the Catholic religion where if you ask for this specific saint for help to find lost things, every single time I've lost something and I've asked for help, I find it like almost instantly. So I don't know if you guys have something similar to that, or if you would be willing to ask this saint for help. But that's another thing too that's kind of crazy is that I don't necessarily identify with the Catholic religion, but I swear to you, every single time I've asked for help from this particular saint, whatever I'm looking for always turns up. It's really crazy. You were thinking Elias. Okay. Well, you were thinking Elias because it went it was more recent. It was like 2 weeks ago you've lost it. So that makes sense why you would think of him. And then I'm like, oh wait, I was at Rose's place when me and Elias had that night together. Yeah, it's so the saint is Saint Anthony of Lost Things. So just basically just reach out, ask for help, see if they can help you find it. It's always worked for me. I really believe in it. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just didn't want to overstep your boundaries. But I can tell this is very important to you, and I feel confident it's going to turn up. So maybe if nothing else, I could give you a lead on how to go about finding it. Okay. I'm sorry, girl. I wish I could give you more information. You said, I totally was hoping it was at your house, but I'm starting to wonder maybe not. Well, let me ask real quick. Hold on. Hey, Shayna, how are you? Give me a second here. I'm getting a no. It's not at your house. I just did a shuffle where if the moon came out first is a no, if the sun came out first is a yes. And I asked if the sketchbook was at your house, and I got a no. Shayna, I'm doing good too. Thank you for asking. Oh, Shayna, you donated? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's at your house. I mean, that would be nice. But to be honest, I prefer to be wrong, but I gotta know. My intuition was kind of telling me no too. I feel like it would have turned up by now if it was at your house. Check with Rose and see if that can lead you anywhere. Okay, Amy, that sounds good. Okay, perfect. All right, Shayna, so I have you for an in-depth. What can I do for you? When you get a sec, whenever you're done, if you go back in that kitchen, will you get me another true lemon? We don't have bottled. Oh shoot! I was gonna send you to get bottled water today. That was the thing. Oh well. Hey Kayla, welcome in. That sounds great. You'll be next, okay? All right. How is Basilio feeling about the future together? So you have a very conflicting person, Shayna J, and I'm not sure if like maybe part of it is his conscious thoughts are positive, but maybe his subconscious thoughts are worried. Um, so for instance, I have the 10 of Cups, and this indicates like happiness, harmony, alignment, happily ever after. And right next to that card, I have 3 of Swords, which is heartbreak, painful separation, being without one another. And that's like multiple cards here conflicting each other like that. So it's almost like maybe Basilio's trying to think like best and worst case scenario while he makes these decisions about your future. Um, he might just be thinking like, what's the best thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? And again, maybe in his conscious thoughts and his conscious mind, it's like everything's all good, but he could have fear underneath it all. But there is a level of uncertainty for where this is going to go. So you would have to fill me in under the circumstances, because that's going to definitely help me understand the nature of your connection. If you guys are in a relationship, for example, this would indicate that he is looking forward to the future with you, and he's very excited for what's to come. He may be worried if you're feeling the same way, or if you guys have a history together that's kind of unstable. He may be hoping for the best but expecting the worst. If you guys are not in communication, he could just be flailing in his own uncertainty and doubt, not really knowing where this is going to go. Again, hoping for the best but expecting the worst. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting for this reading. I feel like when it comes to you, he wants to think half glass full. He wants to feel like things are going to go exactly how he wants. We've been together for almost 6 months. Things are going great. There's still hurt from the past, I think, because he's still bringing up all his ex put him through. Okay, so what I think, Shayna, is that he is having his own personal internal conflict and struggle because of things that he has not worked out from the past. So things being great for your relationship, hold on. Things being great for your relationship shows me why I'm getting these positive cards. But then maybe he's unfortunately spilling some of this past issues that he has into your relationship. This is not a deal breaker. This is not a make or break relationship situation, but it is why it's encouraged to heal before you enter in a new relationship, because you don't want to accidentally project and have insecurities that you should have worked on your own. But again, it's not a deal breaker. Like, you guys can work through this just fine. I feel like he has a lot of hope for you guys. I think he sees a future, like the 10 of Cups, happily ever after. Like, he sees like happiness and harmony, but I think it's just very hard for him realistically to like put all of that into perspective. This is his hope. This is his fantasy. But for whatever reason, he feels like things didn't work out before when he had these feelings for someone. And I think that it's scary for him to put that kind of hope into a future with you. So I feel like for him, he's trying to be realistic. And so far, so good for you guys. I think that he needs to be encouraged to work through these things and recognize that you are not that person. You are someone different. And that he needs to not project his experiences onto your relationship, because what might end up happening is sabotage. I asked him when he thinks is a good time to stop talking about our past so much because I don't want that energy to carry over. But he got a bit defensive because he sees it as venting. I understand, but you're not the one he should be venting to. He should be venting to a therapist. He should be venting to his friend. You are not that person that he should be complaining to. It's one thing for him to say, this is triggering for me because I experienced this and it would make me feel more safe in this relationship if this didn't happen. That's one thing. But for him to try to use you as like a free therapist for his problems, this is where the problem lies. Because now, Shayna, where you once might have felt secure in your relationship, you might starting to feel insecure, not for the fact that you're not a secure, confident person, but the fact that now you feel like you're having to like fight for this, like maybe like try to apologize for wrongs that you never committed. That's a hard place to be, and trust me, you're going to get to your breaking point. So he needs to, if he wants to vent, that's fine, but you need to set that boundary and tell him it's not going to be with me, because you and I need to be able to move forward, and it's not going to work if I feel like you're still stuck in the past. And he needs to see the beauty of your current relationship and not be focusing so worried about what's going on behind him. I understand if certain things are triggering him. I understand if like he's having a hard time like processing this, but that's why he needs to go see someone else that's not you to talk this through. Because he needs to be able to separate it out, you know? So Shayna, as far as your future together, he is hoping for the best, expecting the worst. He's very much conflicted right now. And he may be even unconsciously fulfilling like a self-fulfilling prophecy that he doesn't even want to happen with you. But because he can't move forward and he can't move on, it's kind of putting your connection at risk. So yeah, you're so welcome. Hopefully this helps give you some direction on where to go. I definitely agree with Amy. Partners are not your therapists. It's one thing to have deep, idealistic, philosophical question, like in deep, thought-provoking conversation. That's one thing, but like talking about exes is just not, it's not healthy, I don't think. You're welcome, Shayna. Have a great rest of your night. All right, so Kayla said she was going to donate. Kayla, I'm not sure if you ended up donating or not. I don't think you did. Let me just double check. Yeah, so Kayla, I did not get a donation from you. If you're still planning on donating, feel free to do that. But we are going to just move on to the next person, which is Amy. After Amy, we have Lovely. Thank you for donating, Lovely. Shayna says, true, thank you. Yes, super helpful. Okay, perfect. You're very welcome. So I guess no true lemon for me, huh?
What did you say about mine?
No, I said you just can't put it in a bottle. So what I do is I dump the packet in here, and then I fill the water up to like here. You don't have to mix it. It'll just kind of mix itself. Thanks, Boo. Thanks, Amy. Whew. Really? Oh, so I'm just having a moment. So I've asked about this person before. It's Aaron, close friend of my bestie, Brando. Just wanted to ask, how does Aaron you feel? Let's see. Oh wait, I remember this guy. It was like you met him during like a moving day or something like that. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, I asked what does he think about you, and I got the Ace of Cups and Knight of Cups. So that's like kind of like, I mean, I don't want to like tell you too much because I don't want you to basically take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, please. Don't think he's like falling in love or something. But this does indicate to me some kind of romantic attraction for you. So I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity to like see each other again since then or anything like that. But it does indicate more more of a curiosity about you romantically. That's it. That's a good way to word it. Oh, romantic curiosity. Okay. So no feelings have been established, no crush has been formed, but kind of how you view towards him, like a romantic curiosity. That's, you get what I mean when I say that? Like this based off of the information I have on this person, I'm curious about them. Like I'm curious like where this can go. I'm curious like, you know, how we'll interact moving forward. Now, there is a 5 of swords that comes out, or 5 of wands that comes out with the Ace of Cups. So you could have another, not Elias situation, but kind of, because it's a part of a friend group. So what I mean by that is the 5 of wands talks about conflict, and a conflict with a group of people. And because it came out with the Ace of Cups, it could indicate a reason for Aaron to be cautious or hesitant to move forward with you in that way for the sake of the group. So you could be running into kind of another issue like that. We saw each other during a coffee group, coffee meet with each other, Brando and his other friends. And yeah, I totally get what you mean. So there's definitely curiosity here. More so just like interest and eagerness to see like where this could go. Are we going to meet up again? What kind of conversations are we going to have? You know, kind of just where you're at mentally when it comes to this person. You're not like overly interested or anything like that. You're curious about them, right? Isn't that kind of what it is? And that's what I feel like he's feeling towards you. With the King of Wands, it does indicate to me that he's trying to put his best foot forward. So I feel like whatever it is he's doing, or however it's coming across, he wants to feel like you are impressed by him. Some guys like the attention of one, some guys like the attention of all. This is a very ego-centered thought process. So I'm not sure if he's wanting to impress you because it's you specifically, or if he just likes the idea of everyone liking him. It's very Leo energy, very King of Wands energy. Like, I want to be liked. I want people to be impressed by me and think that I'm everything. And I want to be the center of attention kind of vibe. So I'm not quite sure if this has to do with you specifically, but what I will say is he wants you to be impressed by him, and at least in general. So he could be kind of like trying to show off a little bit, trying to see if he's capturing your attention. He could be curious what you think of him and interested to see if maybe you're crushing out on him, because that would be very flattering to him. You said exactly. I'm essentially curious because I did it first. Okay. I think that he wants to see where this can go in terms of conversation. We have the Ace of Swords, which means that he's open to getting to know you. Ace of Pentacles, he's open to getting to know you mentally and communication wise, but also on a very like down to earth level with the Pentacles. So maybe having like heart-to-heart conversations, spending more time together. The Pentacles has to do with like the material realm, and the Ace of Swords has to do with like the virtual mental realm. So he's open to getting to know you through social media, virtually online, but also in person is what I'm gathering here. I feel like he's not really ready to show you his true self yet. I have the Seven of Swords, so he's kind of keeping his cards close to chest. Seven of Swords is kind of where someone is very picky about who they let into their life and who gets to see the real them. So he's not at that point yet to fully let you in that way. Since the text on both Sally said he did find you a really cool person, they don't lead you on accidentally, how he's not in the emotional state to be in a relationship. Yep, I do remember that, and I appreciate that we still vibe with each other. Even after that conversation, I really appreciate him being cool about it and upfront. I definitely agree, Amy, because I feel like you deal with a lot of people who aren't very direct with you, and that's very commendable that he was direct. I'm sure you can really appreciate that. Unlike Elias. Rando also said that to me too. Aaron keeps his cards close. Yep. Definitely keeps his cards close. I feel like he doesn't like people keeping tabs on him. I feel like he doesn't like people knowing everything about him. So that might be a hard nut to crack, but overall, it seems like he doesn't enjoy his company around, or he enjoys your company. He enjoys when you're around, but it's kind of more like just wondering, curiosity. That's like the best word I can think of, so I'm not going to change it. Exactly. We still vibed, had a great time hanging out with each other during the coffee group time and helping Brando find furniture. Yeah. It makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. He just seems like a very private person. So that might be also too why he doesn't want to invest emotionally, because that would require more commitment, I guess. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. All right, girl, you are very welcome. All right, so next up I have Lovely. What's this random music that's been going on? Your music. Is it just TikTok?
Yeah.
You're being nosy tonight. That works for me. You said, yeah, I recall him saying he doesn't really have his ducks in a row. That's the right phrase. Yeah, that's the right phrase. Yeah, not having your ducks in a row just kind of means like his life feels like it's a little out of order right now. He's not in like the right headspace, literally or figuratively, to pursue a romantic connection, because he feels like he feels like his life is not very organized. He feels like there's other stuff that he needs to do or other things he needs to accomplish first before delving into something like that. Got you for a BOGO. All right, Mike has been quiet on social media as far as I know, not posting what's going on with him. Yeah, like his life is all over the place. Exactly. Mike has been quiet. What's going on with him? All right, Amy. Have a good night. So this is really weird, Lovely. I'm not sure if it's happened to you when you were doing readings, but a card came out all the way, and then another individual card popped forward in my deck, like halfway out the deck, but not fully out the deck. So like at the exact same time, like if two cards come out at once, that's one thing. This was almost like two cards were coming out, but only one actually did, and the other one was like halfway out the deck. So what I'm taking from this, because the one that came fully out was the King of Cups, and the one that came halfway out was the Devil, is making me wonder if he is trying to defeat the demons, if that makes sense. He is trying to, because I feel with the Devil, things are very emotionally charged, but not in necessarily the best way. Whereas King of Cups makes me feel like he might be trying to control his emotions. He might be trying to have more self-control, self-discipline, defeat the devil, basically. So all of his bad habits. So he might be taking a lot of time for himself right now to try to figure out how to navigate this and stop himself from putting that like more toxic version of himself forward, more like push it back, work through it, and try to present more like emotionally in tune. I know that social media can be really bad for you and your mental health a lot of the times. I know that social media can be, if you watch too much of it, it can feel like you've disconnected from your body and you're not really in tune with the moment. While you're in it, it feels important and it feels sometimes educational or funny or whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, right? Exactly. Yeah, I do remember that. It's difficult. So I think social media, especially if he's here for instant gratification, especially if he's here to try to like spy on you, for example, he might just be realizing that it's not necessarily the healthiest. And so when someone is trying to overcome those devil tendencies, they might disconnect from social media just because they feel like it's the healthier route to go. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's leaving for good or forever, but it may be that while he's processing and working through these things, he's taking a step back from needing the instant gratification. That is the devil. You said it has happened to you. One of the channel message readings, something about his battling his old self. Yes, it's so distracting. Sometimes they're very toxic posts. Exactly. So I feel like he's just trying to kind of like get out of his head and into his body. The King of Cups at first, when I first saw this, it was like very like meditative. So I don't know if he's taking a play out of your book right now and trying to find something that feels like meditation to him. Maybe not literally meditation, but might be something that is meditative, like a hobby of some sort, sports, or I don't know. Like for some reason I'm thinking fishing. My brother, he goes fishing and it really helps him with his mental health a lot of the time. So it's just like something that can be like his version of meditation that he might be wanting to focus on and put more energy into. He said this makes a lot of sense. I felt something like that was happening with him. So this resonates. Yeah. Oh, flag football. Okay, cool. And not only that, but like the weather is getting warmer. So maybe there's like more opportunity for him to go out and do that kind of thing. I feel like he's making healthier choices. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like he is making healthier choices. And like the Pentacles to me, especially the Seven of Pentacles, always reminds me of nature. It reminds me of like the cycle of gardening, planting the seeds, growing it, harvesting it. And so this could be kind of his spring. It could be like his time to like really invest in himself. And we could also, that could be the figurative version of it, but also the literal version could be that he's getting outside more, spending more time outdoors. So I love it too. I know I love it too. And I feel like you would accept this and you would feel like, okay, this is really good for him to be reflective and introspective and try to cut out like maybe more unhealthier habits out of his life. But I do understand at the same time too that your only mode of like connection with him right now is social media. So it's okay too to have conflicting feelings about this. But I think more than anything, lovely, is that he is just like trying to cut out and push out the devil, if that makes sense. He's trying to think of things that are going to make him feel good. Definitely getting a lot of like meditative cards here, especially the Four of Pentacles right now, because it's the Light Seers deck. So just like trying to find things that are giving him peace, and maybe things that are providing him almost like connection to get out of his head and back into his body in some ways. And you might be the motivator here, because I do remember him feeling like if he's ever going to approach you again, he has to make sure that he's in the right frame of mind in order for you to really feel like there's been a change and that there's a difference. And so maybe he doesn't even realize it, but he might be motivated to do this stuff just because of that. Whoa, oh my god, this is so crazy. So, Light Seers deck, King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Seven of Wands. Tell me those four cards don't look like meditation to you. And they all came out in this reading. So I prefer that he's doing things like that. What's crazy is I told him he needed to go more within rather than getting outside validation. And maybe it's taking him just finally now to realize that. You get meditation from the Seven of Wands? Yeah, me too. I love the Seven of Wands in the Light Seers deck because it's almost like a bubble of peace, like a peace bubble around her. And you can see all of the wands are trying to get to her. Only one is like attempting it and actually maybe getting to it. So it's like that card always makes me feel like someone is protecting their peace. And they're trying not to let other things interfere with their own feelings, their own thought process, their own judgment, their own opinion, not allowing the outside world to interfere and kind of like silencing the noise, if that makes sense, and trying to kind of go within. So I really like that card too. And Seven of Wands generally means, overcoming. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, totally. So that is what I have for you, girl. Let me know what your next question is. For the second one, can we do general for the next few days? Sure. Not that the treadmill's going to do that, but I might as well get some steps in. Would you think I'm crazy if I said that you're going to go even more in depth internally? Like you're going to reach like new depths to your inner self or your inner working. I have the Hermit here. And as we all know, this card talks about going within, retreating within inside of yourself, having self-reflection, introspection. And this card to me just is like the ultimate isolation, but not necessarily in a physical way, meaning you're going to be antisocial. It just means you're going to be having moments this week where maybe there's going to be epiphanies. Things will be dawning on you that maybe you never really thought about before. Maybe even finding time to spend alone so that you can go even deeper than you have before. I know you've been really big on the meditations lately, and I know that you are kind of starting, what is it, like a course or a subscription or something for that. So maybe trying these things out yourself. But I feel like there's something going on where you kind of block everything out there. So there might be just like a moment or maybe a meditation that you get even further than you ever have before. And you're able to go even deeper into your psyche. You're literally supposed to be working on shifting your mind internally. So I feel like there's something like big when it comes to that, is it's like you get even further, almost like hypnosis, but it's not hypnosis, but you get to a state where like it's like just a different mental state than you've been before. I also have the Four of Pentacles here, so there's that breathing, being present, being in the moment, not overindulging, just really focusing on yourself. I see a lot of work. Eight of Pentacles, a lot of work. So working towards something that you feel you are just going to feel so accomplished when it's done. Eight of Pentacles to me, just in a general, does indicate that you feel like you're working quite a bit. So this could be like, you know, you're doing a lot of live streams and hair and working on other things that are going to like boost your business. But this also speaks to the work that you're doing on yourself. We have the Star here. I love the Star. It always speaks to a renewal. So I feel like after this week, it's almost like an energetic shower that you have taken. So you know how like if you get in the shower, it's very cleansing, and a lot of times you feel really good after, especially if it's been like a long day, you've been out in the public, you know, you flew in an airplane or you played a sport or worked out. That shower just like hits different. I feel like you're kind of going to experience this kind of feeling almost energetically at the end of this next week, maybe, where you feel like you have really cleansed and really renewed yourself in a way that, I mean, obviously we need showers all the time. So it's like it's not going to be like the end all be all energetic shower for you, but like you're going to need another one at some point. But I feel like there's just some kind of cleansing that's happening. The star also speaks to me. It's the number 17. It's the number of fame. It's the number of stardom in numerology. And it tells me that you might have a little bit more of a spotlight on you this week as well. So you might be being noticed more. You might have new clients you've never seen, new attention on social media, new like followers, that kind of thing. Oh, I see. Lovely. I got you. Oh, and what do you know? Six of Wands is coming out here too. So Six of Wands is public recognition. So I think that you're getting recognized by people in your industry or people on your channel or people on your social media. You're going to be kind of celebrated. People are going to tell you what great things other people have said about you. I know, right, Lovely? You're just like, now I just need to get disciplined with it. And then lastly, I see death and rebirth. So if we didn't already know, and I hadn't already kind of touched on this, this is like a transformative week for you. I have the Queen of Pentacles and the Magician. So I think what this week is going to hold is just maybe re-establishing and solidifying your already current belief system surrounding money. So what I noticed about manifesting is that if we believe it can happen, then it will happen. But a lot of times we have to see it happen once at least, or a few times, before we can have that belief system in our mind that it's going to be able to be possible to keep happening. So I think for you, this week is about establishing that. So maybe hiking up your manifestations a little bit more. So maybe if you wanted, just for example, to manifest $100 every week extra the last couple of weeks, this week you might try to do 200, for example. So I feel like it's more about like digging in deeper into your belief system, establishing them, reestablishing them, and just seeing like how far you can push it, because it's, like we said, all about belief. So if you can see it and it's happened before and you experienced it before, you're more likely to believe that it can happen again. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it, Lovely. That makes me happy. All right, Chica. So that's what I've got for you, unless there's anything else you need from me. You're welcome, Lovely. Have a great night. I'm just going to throw on the screen a last call for donations. So if anybody else wants to donate, you can. Thanks, girl.